ಬಟ್ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ. ಆದರೂ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಮಹಾನ್ ಭಾವ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಕಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಫೈನಲ್ ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಎವ್ರಿವೇರ್. Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bangalore Science Forum, which was started in 1962. Sir, Professor Devaraj, la?
Devaraj.
Yes. Yak Devaraj is he is a witness. He was in
74.
And he was a student here. Was started much before that, 1962. Dr. Ednasimaya was the professor. I was a student in the college. Nanagunda Seminary exactly 25 jubilee difference. That's nothing else. And H.R. Ramakrishna anta our 82 years agide. Our minor Rushal adike ivattu bandilla actually. Nanu Ramakrishna students Nasimaya teacher. This he started the Bangalore Science Forum. Every college had a science forum. National College Science Forum, Vijaya College Science Forum, Sanjasa College Science Forum. Generally, Science Forum starts work in the month of July with an inauguration. And it ends its work, second lecture, valedictory in the month of December. The other Science Forum, the inauguration and valedictory. Oh, Namadushka sir. We are lucky, we are blessed. So, that's the main question. What is this? If science is confined to only 2 days, it won't look nice. Then he thought that why can't we start an autonomous body, an independent body, call it as the Bangalore Science Forum, let the science remain every day 24 hours throughout the year. 62 is started, Wednesday lecture. ಒಂದು 5 ಜನ ಇಂದ ಹಾಲೆಲ್ಲ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಯಾವ ರೂಮು ಸಣ್ಣ ಅಂತ ಆಯ್ತು. ಒಂದು 5 ಜನ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೋದು. Afterwards 10 students used to come. As the time passed, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಹಾಲ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ only 4 years or 5 years back, that's all. And now you see, the standard of athleticism has been indicated. 100-120 people are sitting, even on a rainy day, inside the auditorium at 6 o'clock. Our Wednesday start model, every Wednesday 6 to 9. But 2016, not even a single Wednesday is let off. Not a single Wednesday. But still it's a very important record. Then we started the Science Festival in 1978. Nangu 25 years ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ. ಪಾಪ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು. ಇದು ಸಿಟಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಅವರು. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ನೋನ್ ಟು ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ. ಸಿಟಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂತ ರಾಮನವಮಿ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ 30 days. ಒಂದಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಗೀತ ಆಗ್ತದಾಗ ನಾನು AHR ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯುವ ಏನಪ್ಪ AHR ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಗಣೇಶನ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಂಕ್ರಾಂತಿ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ದಸರಾ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಇಯರ್ಸ್. ನೀನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ. ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನನಗೆ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಏನು ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಚಾಲೆಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಪರ್ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ 1978 ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ Ednasimaya called ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್. ನಾನು ನೀವು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಯಾವ್ದೋ 100 years ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ somebody else has called it a science festival. ಅವ್ರು ಔಟ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅವರೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಗಪ್ಪ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ, ಮ್ಯೂಸಿಕ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಆಡಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಗಣೇಶ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್ ಪೂಜಾ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ? ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡೋಣ. 15 days ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಈ 15 days ಸರಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಪ್ಪ, ವೈ ಕಾಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ 30 days. ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಫಿಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. 79 30 days ಆಯ್ತು. ಆಮೇಲೆ 80 ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂದ್ರು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವರ್ಷ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅದು, ಅಷ್ಟು ಈಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಮಾಡೋಣಪ್ಪ, ಮುಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಿ ಅಂತ. 81 ಆಯ್ತು, 82 ಆಯ್ತು, 90 ಆಯ್ತು, 95 ಆಯ್ತು, 2000 ಆಯ್ತು, 01 ಆಯ್ತು, 08 ಆಯ್ತು, 016 ಅಂತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. 39 years ನಾನ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಫಾರ್ 31 days. ಆ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ಸ್ ಕೆಲವರು ಲೆಕ್ಚರರ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾವನೊಬ್ರು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಭಾಷಣ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಡೋದು. ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ. If you see all the 31 pamphlet, you will see that there are Nobel laureates, very efficient doctors, there are FRSs, so many fellows. In fact, Siddharamaya ಅಂತ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, he is fellow of AMC, American Machinery Computing, fellow of IEEE, fellow of PAS, fellow of Innovation, 4 fellow of Excellence. ಅಂತವನ್ನೇ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ we are at 2707. ಎಲ್ಲ ಟಾಪ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ 2707 lecture within minutes is going to be delivered by Dr. Vidyadhara, HOD Spine Surgery Department, Manipal Hospital, on low back pain lessons learned. Today, On behalf of me and on behalf of you, on behalf of the institutions, I extend a very cordial welcome. ಇದಷ್ಟು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಟಿಎಡಿ ನಾವು ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ, ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಕೊಡೋದೇ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರತಿಬ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್
ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಟಿಎಡಿ ಕೊಡಕ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಈಗಿನ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು 2,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಕೊಡೆ. 2,700 to 2,000 ಮುಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೋಟಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್, ಇಂಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟೀಸ್ 4 ಲಕ್ಷ ನೋಡೋಕಾರ ಬಡ್ಜೆಟ್ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್, ಏರೋಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್, ಟಾರ್ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಂತ ಇಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟ ಕೈ ಕಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಡೇಟ್ಗೆ ಯಾವನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಸರ್ UK. ಸರ್ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು UK. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಪಗೇಷನ್ ದಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು 10-15 ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ವೆರಿ ಟಾಪ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ ಜಿನೋಮ್ ಹಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಅವ್ರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದವ್ರಿಗೆ 8 ಲಕ್ಷ 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಏರೋಪ್ಲೇನ್ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಆ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಇವನ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು, ಅಮೆರಿಕನ್ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದೆ ಎನಿವೇರ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಡನ್ ಅಂತ. ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರೋ ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನು ಒಂದು 5,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ತಿಂಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ಸು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಈಗಲೇ ಕೊಡ್ಸಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಡೈಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸರ್ಪ್ರೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಅದರ್ ಡೇ ಇಬ್ರು ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಎವರ್ ಗೇಟ್ಫುಲ್ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ 2 ಬೋಕೆ ತಂದ್ಕೊಟ್ರು ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಹಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಮೋರ್ ದನ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ 2 ಬೋಕೆಸ್ and Dr. Vidyadhara is a very experienced spine surgeon working for Manipal Hospitals, Bangalore since 2008. He completed MS and DNB in orthopedics at KMC Manipal, both winning gold medal. Gold medals are He pursued his career in spine surgery by completing a 2-year structured fellowship of the National Board of Examinations, New Delhi, a FNB spine surgeon at Ganga Hospital, Coimbatore. He further went on to do the prestigious clinical fellowship in spinal deformity surgery at Queen Mary Hospital, one more famous hospital, and HSF Kent Children's Hospital, Hong Kong. He has visited most of the centers of excellence in spine surgery in Germany, USA, Korea, Thailand, Taiwan, and Singapore. It is very interesting. Queen Mary Hospital and HSF Kent Children's Hospital, very top hospitals. ನಾನು ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಬಯೋಟೋದ ನಮ್ಗೆ 3 ಜನ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಅವ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಲೈಮ್. ಆಲ್ ದಿ 4 FR 18 ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ 4 ಯಾಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾ ಫಿಲ್ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಟಾಪ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಿಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಮೇಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ he has practiced spine surgery solely for over a decade and has performed more than 6,300 spine surgeries independently successfully. He had a very successful academic career, winning more than 30 medals and awards at national and international levels, and also more than 26 international publications of index journals, very important, index journals. He has been serving in the editorial board of 6 international index journals and also in the reviewer board of numerous journals. In 2006, he has won the ISCA Young Scientist Award from the then President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He is the 5th Indian spine surgeon and first and only one from Karnataka to have been awarded the active membership of Scoliosis Research Society of USA till date. Only one. In 2010, he won ISSLS Best Research Award, Basic Science. He was important, Basic Science. Now, the very basic science. People are not coming to basic science. Or immediately, some computer thing here to the exam. But our basic science is computer actually. For research work on disk generation. E-disk where a computer disk is much more that fine. In 2012, he had been honored to be one among the 3 spine surgeons from across the world, winning the prestigious SRS Traveling Fellowship to visit the 13 best centers for spine surgery in USA. ನನಗೆ ಇಂಥ ಟಾಪ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕೋದು. ನನಗೆ ಅವ್ರ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಏನಿರೋದು ನನಗೂ ಬೇಕಾ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹಂಬಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೌಮ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಡೇಟ್ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನೋಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಕ್ಚುಲ್ ಆಗಿ. ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ವೆರಿ ಗ್ರೇಟ್. ಗೊತ್ತಾದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸರಿ, nice person is here. We are shortly going to listen to him. A wonderful lecture, I am very sure. And so many of you are there. And if you need any consultation, any help from him, you can do so. There is no problem at all. Now, in a strict doctor, he is not like that. Not like that. Absolutely, he will accommodate persons. In a medical, ಇವತ್ತು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಬೇಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಇಗ್ನೋರೇ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾರ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಹೋಗ್ಲೇಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಿಗ್ಲೇಬೇಕು. ನೋ ವೇ. ಟೀಚರ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಟೀಚರ್ ಎಸ್ಕೇಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ವರ್ಣ ಮಾತನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸಿದಾತ ಅಂತ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗುವಂತ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸ್ಪೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಅಂತ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ವೆರಿ ಯಂಗ್ ಲುಕ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಅಂಡ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಫೀಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಫಿನಿಶ್ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್.
Is it visible?
Yes, visible.
Good evening, friends. Thanks, Dr. Ramara, for being courteous enough to call a young child. I really don't know whether I can learn from you or teach. Rather, that is why I have put the heading as these. I am going to share with you the lessons that I learned from teachers' books and my patients. Basically, it was one of my all-time favorite lectures that I have given at many places because this is what I have learned. This was, in fact, to be very honest, I am a son of two teachers myself, two high school teachers, and all my life I wanted to be a teacher as well, but somehow, destiny is different because I am from a small place and coming to a big place, you need to give up your teaching skills. But I have, to an extent, done justice to what I wanted to do by teaching at least the doctor community as to what does evidence say about back pain, about the commonest problem in our lives. And it doesn't spare even doctors. And this has been an outcome of, like Sir was saying, that I had won the EASL's Best Basic Science Research Award for my work on disc degeneration, which is from MRI study to histopathology, immunohistochemistry, biochemistry and electron microscopy. I had done study which compiled the biggest database in it was a landmark paper and I had presented it in New Zealand, Adelaide, New Zealand, and it had won the world's best spine research in 2010 and I was really feeling very good. And when I came home after a week, my father, he is my biggest critic in life. So he told, I think you have gone too deep. And he gave me a small example. See, if there is a problem here, the more closer you go, you get lost. You feel that the problem is very big and you have only one way to treat it. And he told, why don't you look, at time to time you have to come far away from the problem and the problem looks smaller and you have many ways to treat. So why don't you see, is there any other way that you can treat or you can explore or you can scientifically think. I think you are single track only going in this molecular level and biological level. Though medicine is not constituted by only molecules and cells. There are people with lives. So why don't you look at it more holistically and see if you can come to a reasonable, logical consensus. And that is what brought me to get away from my basic science research and compiling of data as to what the research has proved, what we call as evidence-based medicine in today's world. I think medicine was the last one to accept this because it was always a opinion-based medicine. You know, because I have practiced 40 years of medicine, this is what I feel. Because we all develop a gut feeling. And today I am going to share with you what the evidence has proved with respect to back pain, and that is why I am here, friends. First of all, thank you all for being here at this time on a rainy day and having an interest to keep our interest in scientific work, whatever field we are. I think unless we meet and exchange ideas, exchange thoughts, exchange knowledge, I don't think we grow. And this is the basic thing that I liked about this forum is, I think it all starts with questioning. I think if you don't question your teacher, which I feel in a way Indian system of teaching and learning has been wrong because we believe that Guru Devo Bhava and we are not supposed to question our teachers. I think it was the biggest mistake that we were made to learn from the day one. You can't question your teacher because he is your teacher. But I think one thing I would say that which has changed science today is questioning. I think
Sir, if I am not interfering with you, Buddha has said, even if he is teacher,
you have to question.
Buddha.
But I think in Buddha, that's why maybe Buddha didn't become very popular in India. Because for me, even till today, I think Guru Deva Bhava holds good. Yeah, I can't question my teacher, I can question somebody else's teacher. So with this small background, I think I'll get directly onto the work because I think I don't want to get you very late and get stuck in the traffic. So back pain, friends, like I said, is a common problem. Without exception, 8 out of 10 of us will suffer from back pain at some point of time in life. And at least in a place where I practice today, that is Bangalore, it is an epidemic. You name it, you'll have it. I get scared to get introduced as a spine specialist. And it is a big business. You want to sell anything on earth, you tell it works for back pain and people are there to buy it. Whether it is beds, whether it is ointments, whether it is mattresses, whether it is, you name it, you can sell it. And more so, if you sell it online, I think it will sell better. Friends, despite all this, there are a lot of myths. You know, people talk, saying that lifting heavy weights causes back pain. That bed rest gives the best chance for body to cure back pain. CT scan, X-ray and MRI will give you a diagnosis, and that once you have a back pain, you eventually need surgery. All these are myths, friends. They are not truths. Then what is truth? Truth today is that many people suffer, of course, and no two doctors talk the same language. You go to 2 doctors, you will get 2 opinions. You go to 20, you will get 20. I can assure you on this. And you will be left with more confusion than clarity after you meet more and more doctors. So coming to few headings under which I am going to talk about this topic. One is what is normal in the spine, what is abnormal that gives pain, how it manifests clinically, how to investigate, how to treat and how to prevent. These are the 5-6 headings that I am going to have this lecture going on. The basic functional spinal unit constitutes of 2 bones separated by an intervertebral disc. Can you see that intervertebral disc? It is a cushion, basically a cushion that is there on your chair. There are 2 facet joints on either sides, which are called the facet joints. They give you the movement to the spine. So, 2 bones, 1 disc, and 2 facet joints constitute what is called as functional spinal unit. Now, that is not all. You know, this is a very famous character, more famous than anybody in Bangalore. But today we say that that is not all. There are a lot of other structures like ligaments. Ligaments are the ropes which hold the 2 bones together from falling apart. There are muscles which move the bones one on top of the other. There is a delicate spinal cord which is coming down from the brain to the tail tip and giving rise to the branches. In the neck, the branches will go to the hands. In the back, the branches will go to the legs. Is it clear? I want you to remember this picture till the end of the lecture because most of my discussion will go around in this picture. Is it clear? Anybody has doubts, please ask then and there. Otherwise, it's not going to make. Yes, please. Pardon?
Repeat.
Repeat. There are ligaments in front, the two bones, one disc or the cushion in between, two facet joints which give the movement, ligaments which hold the two bones together, muscles which move two bones one on top of the other. There is a spinal cord going from the brain to the tail tip, giving rise to branches. In the neck, they go to the upper limb. In the back, they go to the lower limbs. Is it clear? Now what goes wrong with the back? That it hurts. The starting point and the commonest point of contact in any and every back pain or neck pain is the disc. So we call it aptly as the kingpin maker of any and every problem in the back and neck. The disc, intervertebral disc, the cushion. So what goes wrong with this cushion? Why should it hurt? When we are born, this cushion is filled with liquid. With age, it becomes gel, it becomes solid by virtue of the disc losing water and proteins. Like every other tissue in the body, it is losing water and protein. And this process is called as degeneration. Loss of water and protein from any tissue of the body is called as degeneration. In other words, it is aging. Like how you get wrinkles on the forehead, how your knee joint loses water and proteins and become arthritic or degenerated. Similarly, if the disc loses water and protein, it becomes degenerated, disc degeneration. And this degeneration causes on and off episodes of axial back and neck pain. Doesn't go to the upper or lower limbs. Now, this is one aspect. This is very common. 9 out of 10 of us will have on and off back pains, neck pains at some point of time in life. Now, coming more to what goes wrong. If you schematically represent, these are the bones. This is the cushion or the disc. This is the spinal cord and the nerve roots going down the hands or legs. In a child, this disc can be equated to a balloon filled with water and kept between two hard surfaces. It's a very good shock absorber. But as we grow adults, like I said, the water becomes lesser, the balloon becomes thicker. Although it is thicker, it is more brittle, more stiffer, more propensity to break with activities of day-to-day life, and it can only break and the liquid inside can come out. What we call as slip disc. Wherein this liquid is full of chemicals which can either irritate the nerve root going down the hand or the leg, or it can chemically irritate or mechanically press the nerve root, causing pain to shoot down the hand or shoot down the leg from the neck or back respectively. And this, friends, is called as slip disc or disc prolapse. You would have heard somebody or the other, your neighbor, your relative or yourself having this word told by doctors that mostly it is slip disc. This causes, in addition to back pain, leg pain. But if you see the percentage incidence, that is also not very uncommon. It is seen in more than 50% of the population has at times arm pain or leg pain. It will go off in a few days. Following, friends, I will give you this very clear example or illustration. This is a 10-year-old child. MRI done for academic purpose, child has no problem. You see these balloony discs filled with water, white is water, between the bones. This is an 80-year-old man. Again, no problems, he has no pain, MRI done for academic purpose. You see these black discs with no water? Can you see?
Yeah.
Yes. So now, given 70 years, this child's MRI would look like this. And that is normal. Because every single disc from above to below, from normal disc, it first loses water and proteins, becomes degenerated. It then bulges, the disc bulges backwards. The disc ruptures, the liquid comes out, the gap between the two bones becomes lesser. Once the gap becomes lesser, the tightness of ligaments and muscles is lost because the space, it is effective lengthening of muscles and ligaments. So they start wobbling. Once the bone starts wobbling, body perceives as though it is something abnormal and it wants to stop it. So it starts producing bridging osteophytes. That is bone which is bridging the two bones, making it into one bone so that it doesn't move. It is a protective reflex of the body. And friends, eventually it bridges and it stops the movement. Now, this process from degeneration, bulging disc, herniated disc, thinning of disc, and osteophyte formation and eventual fusion of the spine is what is called as degenerative disc disease. DDD is an accepted terminology in scientific world. In other words, you can't skip these steps. Every single disc, like you have 33 discs in your neck and back, every single disc has to go through these phases of degenerative disc disease before you die. And if any one of you don't have these changes before you die, you are superhuman. And it only tells you which phase of your disc degeneration you would have taken an MRI, and it will show you that. Am I clear?
Yes.
Now, this is quite boring, like every other speciality. The introduction is always boring, wherein you talk about anatomy, pathology, biochemistry. Nobody wants to study in medicine because you're not getting in touch with patients. You know, we all wanted to be doctors, and suddenly you'll see only books. Some teacher is going on writing chemistry formulas, and it gets so boring because you want to see patients, you want to treat patients like that. So this also. But unless you know these basics, you will not know what I am going to talk next. So the next is interesting. Examination. That is, if you were to sit in my OPD with me and spend one day, what you will come across, I will tell you. Everybody has a pain, and pain is a pain, and I can easily write a book on pain. For some it is throbbing, some it is nagging, paining, pulling, burning, catching. You know all descriptions. Whatever adjectives you want to hear, they are there, and everybody says uniformly that it is bad. Friends, pain is not bad. Pain is a protective reflex of the body in response to injury or damage. It only tells your brain that I pinch you, your skin is getting damaged, you will feel pain because signals go to brain and brain tells you, doctor is pinching, skin is getting damaged, remove your hand. And then you will remove your hand. You understand, it's a protective reflex, trying to protect the part of the body from ongoing injury or damage. So how can it be bad? If there was no pain, you would not have detected any disease, any injury, any damage, and you would have ended up in having more damage, more injury, more disease. So pain is spread. Pain has got one, which is physical component, physical injury component. The second component that we usually miss out is the psychological component. I pinch and you get tears in your eyes. I pinch and you get angry on me. I pinch and you slap me, you hit me, you abuse me. This is what is called a psychological expression of pain. You would have seen in schools, some children when the teacher raises the hand, will get tears in the eyes. Some children get 4 on the thumb and teacher gets tears in the eyes. I'm sure you have seen as teachers. Each one's perception of pain is different, and each one's pain is totally different. Like I always give this example. If you see, you have I'm coming to the next one. So point number 1 is pain. Although patient says that it is bad, we always feel that it is good, that it is telling them that there is a problem. Second is our reaction to pain. Let me elaborate this with an example. Say you have a happy occasion at home, your grandson or granddaughter's birthday, you are hosting it, you are the star of the day because you want to show the world that you are the best grandfather or grandmother. Just about to cut the cake, you want to run and get the knife from the kitchen. You run to the kitchen, your leg hits the dining table. Does it hurt on that day? Of course not, you have no time to think. Only next day morning when you get up, you will feel that, oh my God, toe is swollen, can't able to walk, and you will be wondering, where did I hit, where did I hit? I'll give you another example. Say total bad day, perfect bad day. Early morning you wake up, your grandchild is not keeping well, you go to cook something, it gets burnt, you go to the office, somebody rents your car, reach office late, somebody is not happy, some meetings are postponed, everything going wrong, you are just fed up. By 4 o'clock you want to go home and have a cold Coke from the fridge. Doctor says don't drink, but hell with the doctor, today I want a cold Coke so that it will cool me down because I am totally pissed off with all these things happening from morning. I am not in a mood to go by what doctor says. We will do dieting from tomorrow. So we go towards the fridge and your leg hits the dining table. Does it hurt?
Yes.
No matter how strong you are, I can tell you, you will get tears in your eyes. And looking at you crying, your wife will be like, my God, such a strong man, always he makes me cry and today he is crying. So So there should be something wrong. Looks at the toe, toe, it is swollen. Maybe we have to go and do an X-ray. Maybe there is a fracture. And when she says this, you will also feel, no, I have hit this dining table so many times, but it has never hurt me so much. Maybe there is a fracture. Let me go and get one X-ray from Maya nursing home. And it says no fracture. Friends, for all that you know, it may be the same dining table, same leg, hitting with the same force. When you are happy, you realize it next day, and you will be wondering, where did I hit, where did I hit? And when you are upset, you will feel so much so that you need an X-ray to prove that there is no fracture. You understand?
Yes.
So that brings us to another important concept called as stress affecting your pain. Extreme of, this is my definition, this is not evidence based, this is what I believe, that extreme of any emotion, be it happiness, sadness, anxiety, apprehension, tension, fear, anything and everything in excess is bad for the body, like sugar. So, extreme of emotion causes a stress on the body, and this itself is known to amplify pain and also complicate pain without you, like it will take away your inner conscience to understand that it is because of the stress that you are feeling the pain more. And the same pain you will feel so much more. Following, this is very, very important, sir, in today's world. That's why I am stressing this point. Now, this is the story I was telling you. Pain here, pain there, everybody wants to explain, and everybody thinks doctors should listen to everything that everybody has to say. And imagine the plight of a doctor from morning to evening, he has to listen to only about pain here. It's a painful job, trust me. But you can't show it to the patient, you have to sympathize, you have to talk to them in their language about Vali, Nukti, Vedana, everything you need to know. Because, you know, science, medicine is not a pure science like physics or chemistry, it is a combination of science and art. Unless patient has confidence in you, even a paracetamol cannot bring down fever. So you need to gain confidence and you need to act as though you are listening to everything that the patient says. But friends, we get so bugged up that we are actually looking for something called as red flags. We wake up only when there are red flags in the history. Otherwise we ask for the red flags. So I need to share with you what are these red flags in patients who have neck pain and back pain. Children with back and neck pain, definite red flag. We don't take anybody lightly because we think of either cancer or infection in a child. Children don't know existence of neck and back, forget about pain. And if they complain about neck and back pain, it is a serious affair. Or an elderly who is more than 50 or 60 or I don't know, I don't want to offend people saying that you are an elderly person by saying 50 years, but normally we feel that they are more mature after 50 and they don't come to doctors unnecessarily. We like those patients and we listen to everything that they say because they would have tried everything, tried cortisol oil, tried waiting, tried massaging, and then only if nothing is working and then they will come to you. So we reasonably give respect and it's a red flag for us. And this is not my definition, huh? This is scientific definition. And trauma in an elderly or somebody on steroids with weak bones or somebody with known case of cancer, even if a small slip and fall, we take them as red flags. Back pain with fever and constitutional symptoms like loss of weight, loss of appetite, tuberculosis, friends, even in the spine is very, very common nowadays. I see around 4 cases every week of tuberculosis spine. And tingling numbness of legs or weakness of legs, of course it is a red flag for us because that is, ours is basically an electricity department. Transformer is the brain, there are electric poles in the spine and the wires going down the hands and legs. So if you have tingling numbness or weakness of legs or urine and motion problems, we always take you as red flag. Is it clear? Am I too fast?
No.
Or too slow? No. Both ways is not good. Pain, friends, almost always, whether it is back or neck, 90% of back pain or neck pain becomes better on its own while you lie down or if you take a painkiller or even wine for that matter. But if somebody says that my pain is even worse at night, not getting relieved by painkillers, this is something to be worried about and we always think of again cancer or infection. Quick examination, we always have, like you can do it on your own. This is DIY. Do it yourself. Examination. You look at yourself in a long mirror, see whether your walking style has changed. If it has not changed, you are fairly okay. Your hip muscles, knee muscles, ankle muscles are okay. You look at if you can walk on your heel, only heel like this. If you can walk, that means you are okay with respect to 2 nerves. If you can walk on your toes, you are okay with respect to your 1 nerve, that is S1. So this gives you a fair idea as to whether your nerves are strong or whether they are pressed hard enough that you need to see a doctor. If you are not having one of these 3 red flags, it is not a flag, whole thing is a red chart. If you can't do, you will have to go to a doctor. Clear? Only 3 things. Look at your way of walking. Look at if you can walk on your heel, walk on your toes. If you can do this, it is fine. You don't have to go to a doctor urgently. But friends, end of this red flag business, you see that 99% of patients whom I see in the OPD have no red flags. But everybody has a genuine problem. Otherwise, who will come to Manipal Hospital from Baswangudi? In this traffic. So nobody wants to come, but if they have come, that means it is really bothering them. But I find no interest because there is no red flag. And patient has a suffering. And now this is a big puzzle. Because today you have so many investigations in the market that I can empty anybody's FDs, anybody's retirement corpus. With just investigation, forget about treatment. I don't think many of you can afford. And to add to our dilemma, we have patients who are coming and telling, elderly person more than 70 always come and tell me, Dr. Venkatramana in 1994 had diagnosed me with spondylitis. 2011, doctors from Fortis Hospital had diagnosed me with slip disc. I have an extra bone, I have a crack in the back. You know, patients will come and tell you that I have all these problems. Friends, it is not their problem, it is people like me, doctors who have driven it deep into their head, showing the X-ray and MRI that see, you have a crack in the back, you have this, you have that, trying to impress upon the patient. And we may see also that there may be some extra calcific focus, or there may be a defect in the bone, or there may be extra piece of bone, or there may be irregular bone. But friends, these need not be causes of back pain. How do you know your grandfather didn't have these changes on the X-ray? He didn't have. He had back pain. Our grandfathers did have back pain. So back pain is as old as human life. But they didn't have time, they didn't have money, they didn't have doctors like Vidyadhar, they didn't have technology like X-ray and MRI, and it used to go off. After a while they used to forget it and it used to go off. Today the problem is with us. We have all the time, all the money, all the doctors and all the technology to go searching for problems, and the more we search, more we get. Because God has not created a perfect human being yet. We are all defect pieces, friends. More we search, more we get. Clear? And this is an interesting study done by the insurance companies of US. We always compare medical care of US versus rest of the world, because we think that they are the ultimate healers of this world. So this was the study done by insurance companies, published in medical literature. What they did was they analyzed healthcare expenditure towards treating patients with low back pain. What insurance company had to spend on what type of evaluation or treatment, how much money was spent. They wanted to analyze. 10-year timeline 1994 to 2004. And they found everything in 10 years was like, say, the imaging, MRIs were, the cost was 5 times in 10 years. The painkillers were 2 times more expensive. Injections to the spine were 4 times. And of course, surgeries were 5 times more than 1994 in 2004. But they wanted to analyze what is the patient outcome in 94 and 2004, and they were stunned to see that patient suffering in 1994 and patient disability in 1994 and 2004 are the same. But they were spending 5 times nearly more money on treating people with back pain, insurance companies. So that was an alarming sign for them, because why should we spend more if patients are not getting benefited? Like quality of patients' back pain is not getting better, then why should you spend money? So they went into the depth of what is going wrong. And then came the result of their further analysis. They found that 2/3 of spinal MRIs were inappropriate. They should not have been asked for. they found that spine surgery rates were highest in places where MRIs were done highest. In centers where they did highest number of MRIs, did the highest number of surgeries, and that more than 2/3 of the spinal MRIs were not necessary to have been asked. So friends, I don't want to elaborate on that. I only tell you that your position is something like this. You need to safeguard your blanket. Doesn't matter who is sleeping next to you. So do you need an X-ray? Say today or tomorrow morning when you wake up, you have a severe catch in your back. Do you think you need an X-ray? Do you need to go to a doctor? Of course not. Then when do you need to go to a doctor, or when do you want to do an X-ray? I am not talking about MRI, friends. It is only X-ray. In children, of course, I think you need to do an X-ray. Or in elderly, we always give a benefit of doubt because they may have some osteoporosis, or they may have, or some incapacitating back pain. Somebody is not able to even sit, is being brought in a stretcher to the hospital. We always take an X-ray. Or somebody has met up with a road traffic accident. Of course, you never know the magnitude of the injury, so we always do an X-ray. Rest all people can wait at least for 3 weeks. And only if there is a pain which persists for more than 3 weeks, we ask for an X-ray. Or somebody is crooked like this, after 3 weeks also is not becoming straight, you ask for an X-ray. X-ray mainly excludes gross pathology. Gross pathology. Now friends, before I go to the next major investigative tool, which is the MRI, any doubts till now? Getting boring? Monotonous? It's okay? Because this is very important, because I feel at least end of the day you need to know what I know. Then only there is some use. Otherwise it's only going to be 1 day lecture, and like my father also always keeps telling, one clean the oragi, one clean the oragi. So it doesn't become a fruitful exercise both for me and you. So MRI is the gold standard, friends, to which all the other investigations are compared. MRI is the best investigation for any and every or no problem in the spine. It shows what is necessary and unnecessary. It is very good for even detecting disc degeneration or dehydration of the disc, or a large slip disc like this, or a large bone slip, or even early infection and cancer. It can be picked up very early on MRI. But this is a landmark paper which is published by Eugene Kerecki from Stanford University, US, published in the New England Journal of Medicine. New England Journal of Medicine, friends, is one of the highest impact factor journals. I think as people with science background, you know what is impact factor. It has got an impact factor of 55. In comparison to any other clinical medicine or clinical surgical journals which have less than 5 impact factor, this has 55. So getting a paper published in this kind of a journal is a dream for people like me. It is like getting a Nobel Prize for a doctor. You get my point?
Yes.
Because it is so hard to get. And this is a doctor, he is a surgeon. That's why I make a mention, because it is a respect for him. He published a paper in New England Journal of Medicine in 2005, page number 1891 to 1898. What he did was very simple. He put up a small paper advertisement saying that if you are between 20 and 40 years of age, never had back pain, come to me, I will do a free MRI. He wanted to basically study what is MRI finding in a normal population without back pain. Understood? He wanted a baseline so that everything else can be compared. In people who he has screened and said that there has never been a back pain episode in this person and he is between 20 and 40 years of age, we'll do an MRI, find out what is normal. And as soon as the advertisement came, whole hospital was flooded with people. I'm sure all Indians would have gone, chalo yaar, dekhenge kya hai, waise bhi free mein ho raha hai. Because US getting an MRI, the appointment list and the waiting list is around 3 months. And private, it is very expensive. It is like spending 75,000 from your pocket. 75,000 rupees. Whereas here you do it for 1/10 the cost. So it is very expensive and long waiting list. So he got plenty of patients. 1,474 normal human volunteers who have never had back pain but who are curious to get one free MRI. So he capitalized on this interest of these people and he did a free MRI, but he made sure he got a proforma which is tricky. If you answer it, they'll know that at any point whether you had a back pain or not. So he got a huge database and he finally analyzed the data. And this is what he got. he found people with slip disc. Can you see here? Disc which has slipped. These are the schematic diagrams that he has drawn, and these are the MRI pictures. He saw that Schmall's node end plate changes. He saw disc degeneration. He saw this balloon rupture and the liquid coming out. Can you see? It is called as high intensity zone. So he gave the final graph of the outcome, and this is shocking to the whole scientific world. He gave a conclusion that among normal healthy volunteers, incidence of disc prolapse was 55%. Disc degeneration was 65%. Annular tears were 30%. High intensity zone was, or the balloon rupture and the liquid coming out was 25%. He concluded that more than 80% of normal people have more than one problem by virtue of just doing an MRI, not because they have a problem. If you do an MRI of this hall, I am sure more than 90 people will have some change of the 4. So he put a very valid question to the scientific world: should you treat patient or should you treat MRI? And that is why that paper got published in New England Journal of Medicine, which is like getting a Nobel for this doctor, Eugene Keregi from Stanford University, US. And if you treat MRI, you are like this hunter hunting for the prey all over. And if you want to treat MRI, you are like this. You will see changes at every disc level. You don't know which disc is faulty. Similar to this lineman who doesn't know which wire is faulty. How can he repair? Friends, today we are in a world like this. I can't depict it better than this. We go to a doctor for 1 week severe back pain, not able to sit for very long. We go to a doctor, our famous, whoever is neighboring doctor who is in the next lane. You don't want to go to a big hospital because so many problems with big hospital, including doctors. So go to this fellow, he will write, idan belige tabadi, idan madhyam tabadi, ointment hachi, dina shaka padi. And he will tell, come after 5 days. You go back after 5 days, and now this time, doctor, solpanu kadme agilla, yenri idu, itara, solpanu naya paisa kadme agilla. Then doctor also feels restless. Hillary, I will give you this little change I will make, and he will give you one more medicine and calls you after 2 weeks. He doesn't want to see you next for 5 days. Because next time you will be more strongly unhappy. So he'll call you after 2 weeks, and you go to him after 2 weeks. Solpanu kadmilla, doctor, I have come 2-3 times, spent already 1,500 rupees, but no change at all. Now you will also feel, I know this man is not going to be happy, he will not leave me happy. Because he needs a diagnosis. You also know, as a doctor, that today everybody wants a diagnosis so that they can go back and Google. So best way is write for an MRI. Yeah, you will tell, okay doctor, you go to any diagnostic, you will get a shock saying that you are a son on testing. But still, children will pressurize from you as illa papa you maadi bidi yakandre I don't want you to fall sick because I can't come and look after you. That is the logic. This is the care we get today, telemedicine. So, and also telecare. So we get the MRI done paying 7,500 and you come back to the same doctor. He will just flip it over and again start writing medicine, saying that I'll change a little more and you take this medicine. And you are like, I paid 7,500 rupees. This man, his X-ray copy was behind and he's just flipping it in the air and I think he doesn't know to read the MRI. The other very MBBS doctor, he may be senior, but his time he may not have had MRI. Let me go back to nearby hospital. But night son calls. MRI report to scan ಮಾಡಿ WhatsApp ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. And once you WhatsApp, he'll tell, no, I have already searched in Just Dial, who is the 5-star rated doctor. There is one in Bannerghetta Road, one in Manipal, one in Osmat and one in Columbia Asia, which is near to you. You tell me, I will fix up an appointment by Practo and book an appointment for you tomorrow. ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ತೊಂದರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಬೇಡ ಆಯ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹತ್ರ ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ನೀನು ಹೋಗ್ಲೇಬೇಕು because this is telecare. So he'll fix up an appointment, you go to a 5-star rated doctor. Anyway, first thing, when you go, they'll never be like this in your hospitals, surgeons. So they always wear a mask, cap and in the blue scrub with the apron on top. They look very busy, although we don't do much. they'll come and they'll see the MRI. First see, you also have been fed up to tell the same thing. Is already written a report. So you will give it to the MRI ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ. Doctor also is happy. Anyway, what is the whole day I have to listen to only pain. He is also not interested. I am also not interested. X-ray lobby ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. So he scored 1 point because he doctor MRI ಓದಕ್ ಗೊತ್ತು. So ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ನೋಡಿ ಇದು ನಿಮ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಸ್ಪೈನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. This needs a small surgery. Morning you admit, afternoon I do, night you can go back. And you are like, my God, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇದು ಸತತ್ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಮಣಿಪಾಲ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಮೊದಲು ಕೇಳಿದ್ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಇವತ್ತು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಕೊಯ್ಯೋ ತರ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಇವರು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Then you come back, you don't want to go to hospitals. But you also want to know the report of the MRI. You read the report along with your wife. It is written lumbar canal stenosis with secondary to slip disc at L4-5, impinging on the thecal sac and encroaching into the neural foramen, compressing the traversing L5 nerve root, brackets only right more than left in bold letters. And you will be like worried. Either nerve pressure, everybody is pressed. And especially if your wife also has it, you will have to go to a next doctor. Because how can you, honestly, even if it is my MRI, my wife would not leave me to sit at home with a pressed nerve. This takes you to the next doctor because that doctor was very commercial. He has told surgery. We don't want surgery. We want to hear that no surgery. Now you go to 10 doctors because opinion poll. But honestly speaking, friends, in Bangalore today, it has come to a point wherein 8 out of 10 doctors would tell you that smaller and smallest surgery. This is how we sell surgery. Anyways. And ultimately you feel, ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅವ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಪಕ್ಕ ಇರೋ ದ್ವಾರಕನಾಥ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು, ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಇಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಪೈನ್ ಆನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಫ್, ಬಟ್ ನೆವರ್ ಎನಿಬಡಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಸರ್ಜರಿ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲೈಸ್ಡ್. ಬಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಟೈಮ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹೋಮ್, his wife will be, he will not get a good night's sleep because wife will be crying every night saying, आपको कुछ होगा तो क्या होगा मेरा. And again, because one of those 8 doctors would have told them that one more hump, one more pothole, and old disc may come out and your leg may get paralyzed. And this hits hard. And this will be hitting hard. The whole family life is gone, and the poor man will not get a good night's sleep. His pain may have disappeared. Meanwhile, while seeing the 10 doctors, pain may have gone, but nerve is still pressing here, not here. So finally, he'll have to succumb to his son's pressure because son is very, very difficult for the son to get more leave. Now anyway, it is only 1 day affair, so he'll go and subject himself for surgery, thinking that he'll get a good night's sleep, not because of pain. And this is what I feel, friends, that he'll jump trying to help himself. He doesn't know what is waiting for him. Is it clear? I don't have a better picture than that. Now, coming to last 2 parts, treatment and prevention. You may please raise your hands if you have any questions or if you are bored. Both ways. Because I hate to sit on the other side of the lecture. So treatment when there is pain and prevention when there is no pain. Treatment elru ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ because pain chases you from behind, you have to get treated. After 3 months pain is gone, even wife will forget that you had pain. Till then she will also tell exercise ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. After that she will ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಇರ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡು. So prevention comes only when there is no pain, and that is more important than treatment. Now next 2 slides are very, very catchy, friends. They are truly evidence-based points, not from my pocket, not from my experience. It is evidence-based guidelines for treating back pain. And I can assure you these are contrary to what most of your doctors would have told you. And this is what is the truth today, and it is scientifically valid truth, proven by scientific research beyond reasonable doubt. So pay attention to this. This is not to say all your doctors are wrong and Vidyadhar is right. It is just to say and share with you what is right in today's scientific world. Friends, after all the scientific advances in medicine, today with respect to at least back pain, we believe that it is the nature which heals, not the doctor, not the physiotherapist, not the medicine, not the surgery. It is the nature which heals. If you have patients to wait for 3 months, 90% of problems will heal by themselves. Now tell me, how many of us have patience to wait for 3 months without going to doctors? Without doing MRI? Impossible. So ultimately, we have two weaknesses which hospitals are making use of. One is impatience, and to suit that there are a lot of options. Impatience because we have son's wedding, son-in-law's Griha Pravesham, grandson's Brahmopadesham, we have targets. Everybody has a target till they die. And it doesn't stop till you die. I am very clear, very categorical, and there is no confusion. Including my father, I give my targets. So, it is the nature which heals, and impatience is one of the most important things which we will not let the nature heal a problem. Second is, too many options. Every street has a clinic, every main road has a hospital. So you keep changing hospitals and doctors till finally nature heals and the last doctor gets the credit. So friends, strategically, I am actually in Manipal, I am placed behind Lord Ganesha. Every day morning I pray Lord Ganesha to make me the last doctor for all my patients, so that I get credit for their pain going away. Next, second point is bed rest. You know, I always tell this to people in gatherings. I feel it is the fifth largest religion among doctors and patients in whole of India. After Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh is bed rest. Lot of belief in patients and doctors. Anything and everything, lagao bed rest. More irritating the patient, longer the bed rest, so that he doesn't come back. If he comes back in return, that means he should not come and irritate you. Whether somebody is pregnant, normal delivery or cesarean, common binding factor is bed rest. Whether it is 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, it is all hypothetical. Friends, and no offenses, but everywhere else also in the world people deliver, but in 5 days they join back work. You tell me one household where people join back work in 5 days. Sir, as a spine surgeon, I am telling you, my wife is also a doctor, she was also put on 3 months bed rest after cesarean. My in-laws told, in daughter doctor bodu, you keep it to yourself, we have delivered more babies. All your science you keep aside. And today that is what I am saying, you can't win a battle against this faith medicine, or it is the biggest religion, sir. I would say it may be bigger than all the religions also, but I am just being very, because I have not counted myself, I am keeping it as the fifth. And I believe if Modi can actually get up, make everybody wake up from their bed rest, and I am sure India's GDP will double automatically. Belts and collars. Again, for bed rest, 2 days is not from my pocket. They have told acute back pain wherein you are not able to get up at all, you can take 2 days, but don't take it more than 2 days. Because they have given bed rest for 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, 7 days, 1 month, 3 months. They found whoever has taken longer than 2 days has had a delayed recovery by scientific research. Again, collars and belts. Friends, more than 7 days weakens the normal muscles that you have, and after that you will have to, it is like your external support, so internal support dies off. So 7 days is again, after studies that they found out more than 7 days, you should not wear belt or collar. So I tell my patients in a lighter note, if you want to go to the HR department to get leave, you please wear a big collar and go, so that they'll give you leave. Otherwise after that you remove it, when you're going to the market or movie or anywhere. Physiotherapy. I always tell, if you have a caring physiotherapist, he may be a girl or a boy, or a good looking boy or a girl, you can always make use of them so that you can spend 1 or 2 months without coming back to the doctor. I don't mind you doing physiotherapy, but there is no proven benefit from physiotherapy. What to do, what not to do? Big debate. Whether you know somebody or not, you tell back pain, they tell illappa nin bug beda, nin bhara et beda, nin steps air beda, nelagnal kur beda, vehicle log beda. Every other advice you will get to hear, whether you know that person or not. Because we are all well-wishers to each other. There is no proof required, no science required. These are all common. And even the doctor will tell you so many more rules in addition to this. So there is a lot of negativity around back pain. But today what science has believed and propagates is, resume normal daily activities at the earliest and don't do something that increases pain. Because pain is your protective reflex. If you are increasing pain by an activity, you are increasing the injury before it has healed. So wait for body to heal and then you can do everything that you want to do. There is nothing like don't. So friends, pain is your protective reflex and you have to decide. Neither wife nor son nor doctor can decide what you can do, what you cannot do. You decide, it is your pain, you know what increases, what doesn't affect your pain, you can do. Some people have pain only on lying down or only on standing. Sitting, they don't have pain. So why can't you sit and watch TV rather than sleeping and looking at the ceiling? It's very depressing. You lie down on the bed for 2 days, most people will suffer from depression. So pain is protective friend, respect it and be within its limits during the acute phase. Painkillers or analgesics. Today we don't believe that painkillers are not going to change any of the natural history of healing of injury, but it is on demand that you can take painkiller. Like you have a wedding reception to attend, please take a painkiller and go and smile nicely so that the album will be memorable for the couple. Otherwise it is going to spoil their wedding album, so please take a painkiller. Friends, this is interesting. Antidepressants. They are having proven benefits in patients with chronic back pain. They did a study of young people, 20 to 40. They always target for all the back pain studies 20 to 40 years because they are the nut cases. So they did a study analyzing chronic back pain in 20 to 40 years of age, more than 2 years of back pain. They made them to fill up Minnesota Mini-Mental Scoring Proforma to find out what is their mental status. And they got a good amount of population and they analyzed that and concluded more than 80% of people with more than 2 years of back pain have mild, moderate or severe depression. To continue this study, they did a randomized study giving a placebo to one group, medicine antidepressant to other group. They found that antidepressants made the patients to relieve their back pain. See the link between the back and the brain. Antidepressants causing relief from back pain. And mind you, the commonly used drug in my clinic is antidepressant. I give it to almost everybody, whoever has back pain, and it has always worked. Friends, two bad things. When do you need MRI? I talked about bad things about MRI, that it shows unnecessary things which are not supposed to be seen by us. Only God is supposed to see. And when do you need surgery? When do I have a job? Only 3 indications, friends. To keep it simple, this may be holding good for 95% of back pain and neck pain, but there are exceptions wherein expertise will definitely make a difference. But 95% of decision making is based on only 3 indications for surgery in back and neck pain, and once you have an indication for surgery, MRI becomes the gold standard to direct your surgery to the particular problem. Am I clear? Yes?
Yes.
Yes is becoming softer and softer.
Yes.
Thank you. So in acute situation, also we do surgery. Like even 5 days, 2 days back pain, I do surgery. When patient has got severe limb or trunk weakness, if one fine day you get up and you are not able to lift your hand, not because of pain, because of weakness, or you are not able to hold a pen, you are not able to walk, you are not able to lift your foot, your knee is buckling, your foot is not able to clear the ground, you have to get a surgery. That means in the circuit, I told you, transformer to electric pole to the bulb, there is some defect somewhere. And or if you have difficulty in holding urine or holding motion, or passing urine or passing motion, both ways, holding or passing, difficulty. Again, there is a disconnect from the transformer to the end organ. So these two are what we call as absolute indicators, wherein I as a surgeon have a right to sell surgery. And here, these symptoms are cry of the dying nerves. And here, friends, time is money. The earlier you restore anatomy, reduce the compression on the nerves, the more chances that you will become fully alright. And here I as a surgeon have a right to sell surgery, because I know even if you go to 20 other doctors, they should also talk about surgery, if they know about surgery. If you go to a quack, he may still tell you, I will do massage and make you alright. I can't compete. I have to give up. Now friends, this constitutes 1% of indication of surgery in day-to-day practice, of my practice. I see around 30 to 50 patients every day. It constitutes less than 1% of indication is weakness and bowel and bladder disturbance. It is not very common in people with back pain and neck pain. So you don't have to get panicky saying that, oh, I may have weakness. Nothing. It is very, very rare. Now, many people do the surgery for this chronic pain. Back pain, like what we have. It's a nuisance than the pain. When do we decide whether we need surgery or not? It is functionally disabling pain for more than 3 consecutive months. Functionally, each word is very important, friends. It is defined in that way and it cannot be mixed up or messed up. Functional disability because of pain, numbness, weakness for more than 3 consecutive months. This becomes a relative indication. Unlike the first two wherein it was absolute, this is relative because, like I said, pain is subjective. I told you, some students get tears when the teacher lifts the hand. Some teachers get tears when they beat the children. So pain is subjective. So here patient buys surgery. It is not doctor who can sell surgery. It is the patient who buys surgery, friends. And I give a very standard example of a lady. I am always biased toward ladies since my childhood, younger days. So I tell them, say your grandmother having a back pain, but she goes to the bathroom, goes to the kitchen, sits and watches TV. You think she needs surgery? But every time you go on a weekend, she will be cribbing about ಏನು ಮಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನೋವು ಮಲಗಿದ್ರು ನೋವು ಕೂತ್ರು ನೋವು ಒಂದು ಟಿವಿ ಒಂದು ಸೀರಿಯಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ನೋಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗೆ ಈಗ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಂತೂ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದುವೇ. But she will keep grumbling about this pain, that pain. But she is able to do her activities. I challenge you, if you can get that lady at 80-90 to the mind department, no matter how much you have been saying Manipal Hospital has 11 floors, Vidyadhar is a very nice doctor, very ethical, but she will not listen to you. She will tell you, Illappa, ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಾನೆಲ್ಲ ಓಡೋ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಓಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನನಗೆ ಇನ್ನು PT Usha ಆಗಬೇಕಂತೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀನು ಓಡು. Because she knows at her life, in her life, at her phase of life, she knows her expectation and she knows her abilities. If expectations are met by her abilities, she knows she is not disabled. She sees her friends around, they are also in the same phase, so she is okay to accept it as her. But if she doesn't complain or crib, which grandchild is going to sit by her side and apply ointment to her back? So she needs some attention, so she will keep grumbling, she will keep telling, you have to listen and you have to soothe her. Because she is not disabled, although she has pain. Clear? This is at 80-90. Say your mother's age or my mother's age. At 60 or 70 years, in addition to kitchen, bathroom, TV, she may want to go for an evening walk, wedding reception or a temple visit. If she does these 5-6 items, she is more or less okay. She will keep talking about it because after 2-3 rounds in the park, her friends would go 4 rounds, one will go 7 rounds. After that, everybody will sit, 6-7 ladies in her 60s will sit together and will be talking about how one has shoulder pain, one has neck pain, one has back pain, one has knee pain, and as long as the other person has more pain, they are happy. They will not go to any doctors, mind you. They will be blaming it on menopause, hormones and whatnot, and they will go to a Kotak Ayurvedic shop, get some oil and they will be rubbing it. Haven't you seen? My mother does it. She doesn't want to talk to me about pain because once or twice she talked, I told her, come, we'll do surgery. Her shoulder is pain. After that, pain went off instantly. So, because at their life, they have their expectation and their abilities. If they match, it is okay. Little bit of pain if they want to say that, okay, I have to live with it because everybody has pain. That is their life. They can choose to say that they are not disabled and I have no right to sell them a surgery. Is it clear?
Yes.
20 and 40 years, say, the same lady at 20 and 40 years, she may want to go running, trekking, play with the kids, get so many things done, physically demanding works. And she is not able to do. This is what she wants to do, but she cannot do. Ability is not letting her do what she wants to do. The gap between your expectation and ability, friends, is your disability. This is my definition. Gap between your expectation and ability is your disability, and this only you can feel, nobody else. And once you feel that there is a disability, there are 2 ways to treat. One, bringing down expectations and living like 60 or 80-year-old, or taking the help of science and technology, pinpointing the problem and getting rid of the problem so that you can live like a 20 or 40-year-old. Now, the biggest mistake I am doing here is trying to categorize people into 20 to 40, 60 and 80. Friends, it's a wrong way, it's a biased way, but this is just to give an example. People at 100 years, rather 98 years, wanting a surgery. I'll give you this example because she was mother of one of our State Bank employees, opposite Manipal, CS Pai. He was the State Bank manager for a short while. His mother was Dr. Honda. He's also in his 80s. So his patient, TB spine. 6 months tuberculosis treatment was on and she was not getting out of bed because very severe pain. Can't turn, can't sit, can't and son and daughter, 2 children. They have appointed a nurse, they have appointed a helper, taking good care. 6 months not working, and the Kohala did one X-ray and sent it to me. I saw the X-ray, I see that 2 bones are completely eaten up by tuberculosis in her back. And I tell, no, the 2 bones are completely eaten up, you need to fix the bones above and below and bridge the gap and reinsert some metal mesh cage to reconstruct the anterior column. As soon as I told this, that old lady tells her son and daughter to go out. She says, "Nan solpa doctor hatra matadadide ನೀವು ಹೊರಗೆ." Very smart. And as soon as they went out, she started removing her gold bangles, put on my table, and she told, "Maga, ನನ್ನ ವಯಸ್ಸು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ನೀನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ 98 ಆಯ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಮಾತು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸರಿ, ನಾನು ಬದುಕಿದ್ರು ಸತ್ರು ನಿನ್ಗೆ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಾಯ್ತೀನಿ, ಬಟ್ ನನ್ಗಂತೂ ಸಾಕಪ್ಪ, 98 ವರ್ಷ, 98 years I have not suffered that I have suffered in the last 6 months. I want to call it an end. You have told you can do, I will pray God that you will be successful, but you please do. My children will not allow, but they cannot stop me. I will do it with my money. I don't want gold. I will ask them to get." And children came, they started literally abusing me in harsh words. And ultimately this old lady one, I did a surgery as though I was doing it on an 18-year-old. She walked the next day, she lived for 4 years. 1 or 2 she passed away while sitting and watching TV. But every time she used to come to the OPD for sugar checkup, she used to peep through the door and she used to tell me in company that, "Doctor, I am still walking. Do you really want to do X-ray? What will you do with my X-ray? If I fall again bedridden, you do X-ray and do surgery." I was like, "Man, I don't want to operate." I also didn't know that you are 98. But that is how it is. You know, when you are cornered, when you don't want to live a life like what she was leading, she was very clear that children are taking good care of her. But she doesn't want to live like that. You understand? Either this side or that side. She wanted to call it. And definitely, that is where I am saying. So age is not a criteria. I have a patient who was police walkie-talkie distributor. I don't want to name him. His office was on Lal Bagh Main Road, it seems. His house is in CMX Road. 88 years. He used to walk from CMX Road in Indiranagar to Jayanagar every day, Lal Bagh Main Road. Come walking, go walking, 8 kilometers. For 45 years, he has walked. And he was the #1 distributor for police walkie-talkie. And 2 years he was not able to do what he was doing. His children used to come by car, but he used to walk. And this man went to every doctor and he was like told, "You are old, start accepting that you are 88, you can't become 18 again." And somehow somebody gave a reference of me, I don't know with what context, but he came and he told, "Doctor, I have to get admitted under you and I want to walk 8 kilometers again." I told, "Sir, but we have to do investigations and see if anything can be done." He is only telling, "Illa doctor, here's something, I am feeling that there is something which is catching me, holding me from walking. If you release and give, I will walk." You know, without any test, because even other doctors have refused to do any test for him. I told, "You do it on OPD basis, sir, because once you get admitted, the bill will become double." He told, "Doctor, you don't know how much I have. I have given my children's share. I have many crores. You can't earn it in your lifetime. I have so much of money. You please do. I want to spend on myself. I want to enjoy the hospital. I want to enjoy your surgery. Give me the best of rooms, most expensive surgery." I said, "No, sir, there is nothing like expensive or most expensive. There are slab rates in today's." He went for an ultra deluxe room. I did a surgery, putting some 16 screws, 2 rods, and he's walking again. Now it is more than 6-7 years, and he's still there. He now also calls, once a year he calls, saying that, "I have a commissioner friend of mine, he is only a namesake commissioner, but he is the most scared soul on earth. I will send him to you because he has been advised surgery somewhere and he is scared." So that is the kind of thing. So when it comes to you don't know what phase of life, what goes through your mind and what you want in life. So age is a biased way, that's what I am saying you, but it is a good thing to understand what you are talking about, functional disability, gap between expectation and ability. Is it clear?
Yes.
And it is an individualized feeling. Like as a surgeon for me, sitting, no pain, doesn't matter. I need to stand and operate. I can't say if I have a pain, not able to stand for 10 minutes for 3 months. I would rather choose to go for a surgery because although I know sitting I don't have pain, but I can't change from a surgeon to a physician's job. Sitting and writing medicine, that is killing what I have learned. You get what I am saying? It is individualized. So if you want to live what you want to live as, or if you want to do what you want to do as, then there are ways and science where you can pinpoint the problem by an MRI and then do a appropriate surgery, directed surgery. Sorry friends, I am taking a lot of time I guess. We'll quickly close in 2 minutes. Huh?
You can take some more time.
No sir, sitting is a bad thing. Lot of you may have a back pain now.
Ergonomically designed.
Design. Sir, another way of selling products. I'll come back to it. That is the most interesting part of the whole lecture. So, friends, to conclude, spine surgery is not a cosmetic surgery. It is not to flush the bulging disc and make it trim and make it nice looking on the MRI. It is a functional restoration surgery. Clear? Coming to the last part. Do you want to continue or will stop? Because I have a selfishness in this. If I teach you this, I lose business.
Please continue.
Thank you. So this is the natural history of, sorry for the short forms, neglected low back pain. What is the natural history? Like most of us who have neglected our back because we got so busy running towards the so-called success. X-axis is pain intensity or severity, 0 to 10 scale. Y-axis is age in years. Till around 20 years of age, nobody has back pain. First episode comes at 22, goes off in 3 days, 3 weeks or 3 months. Next 10, 12 years, you are okay. 36, you will get one more episode, goes off in 3 days, 3 weeks or 3 months. Again at 42, again at 54, 56, 58, 59. You know, it is an episodic disease. It comes, it goes, only to come back again. Only to come back again. And with increasing episodes, the frequency with which it comes goes on increasing. It comes more and more faster. And also, if you see, initially it used to heal completely and pain used to completely go. After some time, you will feel that, you know, sari agide, but it is not like the SSLC PUC that. Most of us have that feeling that it is not normal. We have to keep adjusting our back to get rid of this pain. And this residual pain or residual healing deficiency will go on increasing. And if you are looking at preventive strategy, friends, it is when there is no pain that you have to start doing something so that this cascade doesn't come along. Now, the other thing is, this is the first point in prevention, that neglected back pain, natural history. Second point is philosophy of back pain. This is what is non-scientific, but this is what is my thinking, my philosophy. A child, forget about this slide. Child has hardly have any back pain. Like National College Assembly, you ask how many of you have back pain? I am sure maybe 1 or 0 only. Most of the year it will be 0 children having back pain or neck pain. Till around second PUC or 15 years of age, child doesn't know existence of neck and back. Forget about pain. You ask them parts of the body, they will tell eyes, ears, nose, hands, legs, there is no back and neck. Because even during exam time, they will tell headache, throat pain, stomach pain, because they look at in the mirror and they see that they think nobody else can see. But neck and back, unfortunately, they can't see in the mirror also. So they are totally ignorant of back and neck pain. They fall in the cricket ground, basketball ground, only elbow pain, knee pain, but no back pain or neck pain. Most often. Now, that is one group, children. You take the other group, people between 20 to 30 years of age, the today's younger generation. You don't have to talk to them, sir. If you have a group of 5-6 people talking over a dinner or coffee for more than half an hour, 1 hour, invariably the discussion will end in who is the best spine surgeon, whether endoscopic or microscopic discectomy, laser or ozone, Ayurvedic massage or acupuncture. You will be wondering what are they talking about, and you will get an impression that next biggest threat to the scientific world is not nuclear weapons anymore. It is back pain and neck pain, because one would have had a sudden catch last night and others are all telling, no, you go to this doctor in this hospital, he does a beautiful endoscopic surgery, one day you will be becoming okay. You know, that is how. So the same child till 15 who didn't know anything about back and neck, existence of neck and back, in just 10 years thinks that the whole world The biggest problem is neck and back pain. So what changed in these 10 years? So my philosophical thought is this: child is a spurt of energy. Child is jumping, running physically, spurt of energy. It cannot sit in one place. If a child is only sitting in one place, I feel maybe there is some problem with the child. If you ask any child to bend and touch the floor, they will touch full palm flat on the ground. They are flexible, like a tender plant, badlitara. You bend it in any direction, it doesn't break. After +2, the problem comes. First, child gets into the books, career, life, wife, children, no time. From beggar to chief minister, nobody has time. Only for themselves to exercise. Today, if friends come from Bombay, their engineering college friends, 6 hours off to go for dinner. 3 hours for makeup, 3 hours for dinner. If child wants to go to Wonderla, 1 day off. Parents come 2 days off, in-laws come 3 days off. We have time for every goddamn thing and every goddamn person, but not to ourselves. If doctor says, boss, you have to do 1 hour of exercise, I will tell you standard answer by IT professional is, doctor, it is not like your job. We work 12 to 16 hours every day. And you see the shopping mall in front of my house, Central Mall. Who is there? Flooded. And you see the temple, nobody is there. Friends, that is where the difference. A energetic spurt of energy becomes suddenly stuck on the chair and physically totally inactive. And in our body, like I said, there are so many joints in our neck and back. I told you, 1 disc and 2 facet joints which move our neck, move our back. These are nothing but bearings. You know the bearing of a fan, of a engine motor? Take the example of a fan. A house fan never makes noise. Whereas a marriage hall fan makes 1 out of 10 fans will make kar-kar sound. Why is it? Any idea?
Not used. Not frequently used.
Very good, sir. I never get this answer from today's IT crowd. I give lectures in IT crowd also because going to Infosys, I had some 500 people, like a big marriage hall only. They arranged for a hall in 100 people audience, it became overcrowded. Then they made it, because back page, everybody wants to know. They are all scared. So basically, the bearing has not moved. House fan runs every night, marriage hall runs only 2 months in a year, season. After that it is resting, that is the time it is rusting. So friends, all these bearings need movement. They don't need oil and grease, they need movement every day. So how many times in a day do we move full range of movement? We do yes and no, but it is shameful to call it as a movement. How many times do we bend and touch the floor? Or how many times have we done from our high school days? We can count the number of times, not many. So friends, all these bearings get jammed, they get rusted. And one day, they'll tell, no, National College, old Students Association, sir, you have to come and be in the field. And you'll also be talking, saying, I used to hit sixer from here and it used to fall in the swimming pool. And now you go to the cricket field, you will stand in one corner where you think that ball will not come because you are not played for so many years. And ball will invariably come to you only. And now you have to show that you can pick up the ball and throw. You are not bent so many years. Today you will force, something will tear. And you will get a spasm, you will get a pain, you will throw the ball and you will walk out of the field, cursing that previous doctor, saying that that doctor is not good, I think I have to go to a better one. Because he didn't give me a cure. Friends, that is the problem. You become like a stiff adult. From a flexible, tender plant, you become a stiff adult like a teacher's chalk. You bend it, it breaks. You bend it, it breaks. You go on a hump, it breaks. You go on a pothole, it breaks. Go on a two-wheeler, it breaks. You pick up a mug of water, it breaks. You go on an auto rickshaw, it breaks. And we blame all these items as the cause of your back pain. Bending, lifting weights, going on auto rickshaw, potholes. Then we write articles for Times of India. How bad roads cause back pain. Musmat doctor says this. Fortis doctor says this. Vidyadhar says this. And fool people. Friends, we are the masters of blaming others. Problem is ours. We are masters. I am not saying that roads are good anyway. but a coolie fellow will go on a bicycle, two-wheeler, on the same road, has no problem. Because the whole day he is bending and picking up bricks, bending and lifting cement. His body is flexible. He is flexible like a child, a coolie or a construction site worker. He doesn't break. We break and we are masters of blaming others. So friends, so a child which is flexible, this is my philosophical thought, will become a stiff adult, not because your liquid disc becomes solid. It is merely because of the inactivity of your ligaments and muscles. You remember the first picture I showed you? Ligaments and the muscles which hold the bones together, which move the bones one on top of the other. They become stiff. And once that is stiff, it can only break and cause slip disc or a disc prolapse, and then you'll need doctors like me. So what is the preventive strategy? The only preventive strategy is to reverse this equation and getting flexible. Friends, it is the key to get back flexibility, and our body is like this car. I'm sure one of you would have had this car in the past. In the whole of Udupi Manipal, only one, Dr. Bhandari, Professor Bhandari he used to be our Director of Technical Education also. So he had one. He was the Dean of MIT Manipal. So it used to always need some, like you keep this car for a week, you'll have to push and start. You keep it for a month, you have to get the mechanic, change the battery and start. So our body is like this, you have to start every day. So I remember my days wherein I used to push this Dean's car and start it. Anyway, later on in life I operated on him also. But I always tell that our body is like this car, that it has to be started every day, otherwise it will get rusted, it gets jammed. Friends, we human beings, by virtue of us being able to stand erect against gravity, we consider ourselves as metamorphically most evolved animal on the planet Earth. But today I think there is something really going wrong, and we are getting back to where it all started. Now this is the key slide. It shows yoga as the number one exercise. Very difficult to tell, sir. If I talk about it, people look at me like Nityanand Swami. Whether I came to Manipal Hospital or whether I came to Bidvi. That is what they feel. And you talk about it, they don't have any respect. But this was actually presented in 2009 San Antonio Scoliosis Research Society by 10 Americans, no Indian at all. And it was nominated for the Best Paper Award in 2009. And all that they did was chronic back pain more than 2 years. They made people to pick up lots. If you pick up one, yoga, pick up two, anything, hip hop, aerobics, gym, swimming, anything. And they concluded conclusively that yoga is 10 times better than all the other modalities of non-operative treatment. And they convincingly proved that it not only has physical component, it tackles both physical and psychological component of back pain, because the breathing sequence is so important in yoga, the Surya Namaskar, that they told nothing will match for a patient who has chronic back pain. And today we get scared to advocate to our patients in India, and very difficult. I am sure one day they'll patent it and sell it in India for $250, and we'll all stand in a line at 4 o'clock in front of iStore and waiting for the store to open. And only proven thing is smoking, friends, is known to accelerate this degeneration. Proven stuff. Weight gain, obvious mechanical disadvantage. It pulls your back forwards. Biomechanically, physics professor will tell you it is not good because the liver arm is too long. And lot of IT wallahs will want you to give a lecture on ergonomics. Very interesting. And I will be called only for this, and I tell them that this is the only slide that I have on ergonomics. And sir, they have gone to the extent of adjusting the arm rest height, arm rest angle, foot rest height, foot rest angle, laptop angle, I don't know what all angles. And I suppose they are scared to call spine specialists to give a lecture. Because I suppose somebody went and told, no, this is the height of the table, this is the height of the chair, and all that in lecture. All the workers protested that you are making us sit on wrong furniture, and that's why we are all having back pain. The company lost around 3 crores changing the furniture. So they stopped calling people for back pain talks. So friends, this is my key word. Sit straight, look straight. You don't have to necessarily change the table and the chair unless it is total mismatch. You know what you are comfortable with, and I always tell it is more important to take breaks, not more important than table and chair. Human beings are not made to sit on the chair and work for hours together and then get up and say, ooh, and all that. You are supposed to be running around, and you are making yourself sit. So at least once in 45 minutes, like in a school, like in a class, you please make sure, keep an alarm, get up, do some stretches, not the coffee bhaji at a cigarette break. Most of them in front of Manipal. Everybody has got a corner where they sit and have this break. And then I have told, you get up and walk. Because so many people with the wheels on the chair, they'll go break means away from the computer, next cubicle. Gossip with a friend and come back. They don't get up from the chair. Very difficult. So I tell them, I added this slide, that get up and walk. And friends, one of the very important preventive measures is don't do an MRI unless there is an indication for surgery. Because the day you do a surgery, it is the first step towards getting a surgery, and very difficult for any doctors like me to stop you from getting a surgery done. Because doctors are very smart. You may consider that they are the fools to take up this field with no pay, but they are smart. That's why they got in there. But even today, I think, I don't know, maybe lot of better ways, like Sir was saying. I think gone are those days, but I don't know much about youngsters. So don't do an MRI unless there is an indication for surgery. Now this is the paper that got published within 3 months of presenting. It got published on yoga, and all that they did was saying that yoga improves functional disability, pain intensity, and depression. Can you see that? The psychological component.
Yes.
And you see a lot of these patients that I see on a Saturday. Saturday is a mad crowd. I hate to go to hospital, but that is the busiest day of the week, and hospital will throw me out if I don't go. Because all youngsters in their 20 to 40 with appointment on Praxify or whatever, and very irritated. From the word go, they come. If doctor is appointment, I can hear from inside. My appointment sister is at 10:15. Doctor is simply chit-chatting with some friend. Poor thing, some child or some old man would have been genuinely not being able to get up and walk, and I would have been examining him in detail, and this man will be shouting. So I normally call the nurse and tell them, if somebody is agitated, you please shut them away and tell them to go to. You tell them that this doctor is like this only, he'll get stuck and he'll not move. Let them go to a better place where there is a faster turnover. Friends, yoga there is no controversy, it is a recurring deposit. I know today equity market and mutual funds give much more better returns. But friends, I still believe that whatever our grandparents did, putting in 1 rupee every day in the post office, made more sense, because now again all these equity markets have come back to that systematic investment plan. Correct? So the whole pendulum is going like this and this. So yoga is like that. It is a 1 hour of investment every day, and in body there is only one major drawback, sir. God created the whole body. Unlike the computer, it has no undo button. So either you do good and end in good, or bad and end in bad. No matter how much money you have, whether you are beggar or chief minister, doesn't matter. If you have screwed up your back, you are dead. So yoga is like recurring deposit, friends, and it is a way of life as it is propagated, and it is never an exercise. If you are supposed to be the way you are supposed to be, then yoga is the way forward. This is the summary of the whole lecture. Whatever I try to fool you or talk to you, you can, in short, this is what you need to remember. It is not because MRI shows a small disc bulge that you don't need surgery. Even if it is a small disc bulge, if some people will have a narrow spinal canal, and even a small disc bulge can be making a person's life miserable. I do operate if they have suffered for more than 3 months. Or a large disc prolapse doesn't mean that you need to undergo surgery. If somebody has a capacious canal, even a large disc may be freely floating without any compression. So it is not that you need a surgery because there is a big disc. Like a lot of people come and tell me, no, that doctor told me immediate surgery because it is very big. But do you have pain? No, doctor. So it is not necessary, depending on the size, to decide. Indications only remain free. And friends, don't believe a surgeon who will tell that they have a 100% success rate. I have nearly traveled almost every place on earth, and I can tell you, at least Indian people are very honest, and we tell that we have complications, that we have enough and more that we can handle. But nowhere on earth there is a place where there is a 100% success rate with respect to any surgery. Forget about spine surgery alone. And friends, conservative treatment is reversible. No matter how small is the surgery, it always leaves behind a scar. So unless you are cornered, I don't think you should take up surgery. So think conservative, stay conservative. I am not dead against doing an MRI if you know that you are not looking for your disc bulges or prolapses or degenerative status. If you are doing an MRI to identify if there is an infection or a cancer which is spread to the spine, it is okay. But don't go behind the other findings which are simply written on the MRI, because radiologist's job is to describe. It is like, I always tell, it is like a wedding album. Everybody looks hunky-dory. Only if you go to their house after a year, you know actually who is the couple. So that is why don't overdo based on MRI findings. And surgery, like I said, for trunk weakness or limb weakness, bowel and bladder involvement, or if there is an intractable functionally disabling pain for more than 3 consecutive months. No fourth indications, at least for this audience, unless somebody is a doctor himself. And everything else, friends, is non-surgical. Now, still more summarizing, only one slide which summarizes everything that I spoke. All rubbish I spoke is only this. Friends, pain is protective, respect it. It is your friend, it is not your enemy. Try to be within its limits. Flexibility is the key. When you don't have pain, maintain flexibility of your spine by doing yoga. Both MRI and surgery are bad, but it is not to say that if there is an indication, I think they deserve the best of advances in science. And not to say that you have to live with pain and make it chronic, like more than 3 months, still suffering, not able to live like what you want to live. Then it becomes like a bad marriage, like diabetes, asthma and a bad marriage. You can neither live with her nor leave her. So that is very difficult to get divorced. So that is like you can, like diabetes and asthma, you can only go on treating, changing doctors, you can never get a cure. So friends, more than 3 months also you should not suffer. There is no Viagra which can reverse all this that happens in the spine. Friends, we are still unable to get a nice balloony, water-filled balloony disc bag like this child. Few more philosophical thoughts. I always believe that God created all of us, human beings, to be like this farmer. Sweat it out from morning to evening, doing physical manual labor. End of the day, any food will taste nice, any food will get digested, any pillow, any mattress, with pillow, without mattress. Anywhere he'll get a good night's sleep, sound sleep, and in the morning when he gets up, he is fresh, energetic and happy. Whether he has earned 350 rupees or 375 doesn't make a difference to him, because he doesn't know what money can buy. Friends, what we have turned out today is like this. Keeping our body cold in AC rooms or under the fan. Body is cold, brain is all the time heated up. Anything and everything, we have extremes of emotions. Too happy, too sad, too anxious, too apprehensive, too tense, too fearful, too much of everything. And this spiky pattern causes a lot of heat in the brain, and once brain gets heated up, it is the controller of all the organs in the body, and they start misbehaving. Because master itself is gone mad, body will not listen. Then you will have headache, dizziness, giddiness, chest pain, palpitation, breathlessness, neck pain, back pain, acidity, constipation, menstrual irregularity. You name it, you will have it. You will see, my God, my grandmother at 80 also doesn't have so many problems. I at 30 years have so many problems. And to suit people like you, Manipal Hospital has a policy. One symptom, one doctor policy. Like Goa. So, there is a doctor for headache, giddiness, dizziness, chest pain, palpitation, neck pain, back pain, acidity, constipation, menstrual, everything. Like Vidyadhar, there are so many Vidyadhars. And if you have a peculiar symptoms and there are no specified doctors, you can write to the customer care, they will get one more from you. Because UK anyway, after Brexit, there is no future. Everybody is wanting to come back to Manipal. So, no jokes, sir. Last 1 year, I think there are 50 UK people who have come to Manipal alone. So we are almost reaching that target of one doctor for one symptom. And each doctor, if he writes for one symptom, 2 medicines, that person at 20 or 30 years will have 20 medicines in the morning, 25 in the afternoon, 30 in the night. Normal person will end up being a patient. So friends, you have 3 choices. This is what I tell. This is my standard dialogue on, say, Saturday morning OPD. Go back to your grandfather's farm, do agriculture work. If you don't want to dirty your hands and legs, do 1 hour of yoga, or stop cribbing about aches and pains, keep changing doctors every 3 months for entertainment. I tell them, don't come back to me, please. Spare me, because because I don't think I can help you much. And I honestly feel, friends, that we are definitely over-treating back pain and neck pain, and it is high time that we back off. We treat it with a conscious mind to eradicate it by doing what is required out of us, rather than trying to depend on others like doctors, physios and massagers. You know, the more we depend on these people, the more and more richer the doctors, physiotherapists and massagers will become, both physically and financially. You will become weaker both ways. So with these few words, I think, I don't know whether I have just done justice to the lecture that was supposed to be, but some nonsense I have done. And if you want the handout of this lecture, it is with Mr. Devraj. Anybody wants the handout summary of the lecture, you can take it up from there.
Just 5 minutes.
No, I will just give it here.
Vote of thanks.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and
During their lecture cycle, some of them relate lot of back pain and remains will be normal. How it is related? Back pain coming from spinal cord and how it is related?
it is hormonal.
Only complete.
Hormonal and psychological. During that time, people have a lot of psychological issues as well. It is combination of both yoga health.
And I have read some articles stating that very high level, that will cause the back pain.
If you are flexible, it is not. If you are flexible, flexibility is the key. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kidney stone causes back pain and pain, is it? So to avoid kidney stone, we'll have to drink
Drink a
water.
lot of water and keep away from doctors.
Can you say something about achondroplasia and lumbar canal stenosis?
Yes, very good. It is 100% coincidence. All achondroplasias have lumbar canal stenosis. By 2030, I have one child today. And you would have seen on Google Data on TV. You remember the one who won the Kannada contest with them?
Okay.
So that girl also had operated on her. They need a surgery. That's a totally that belongs to that 5%. Wherein you need an expertise. Yes.
Sir, what are the symptoms of stroke? Why people get stroke?
Why?
Stroke.
The whole, my belief is very simple. See, lot of things in medicine we don't know. Rather, I believe, I personally, this is not evidence-based, I believe 90% of things in medicine in human body we don't know. 90%. We don't know why people get stroke, why people get cancer, why some people get, why some people don't get, why people get diabetes, why some people get cholesterol, some people don't, why people get, we don't know, sir. Actually, answer is we don't know. Out of the remaining 10%, 9% we know how to control. Control pain, control BP, control sugar, control cholesterol, control, so many controls. And remaining 1% is the one where appendix is ruptured, you remove. Kidney has stones, you remove. Gallbladder has stones, you remove. Disc has slipped, you remove. You remove. These are surgeons who give you a cure, but no doubt, but it's only 1%. So out of 100%, 90% we don't know. And that is where medical business is running around. And the day we know the causes of each one, then you will know how to prevent it. I will lose my job.
It is called GOK reasons. God only knows.
Doctor? Huh?
GOK reasons.
Huh?
God only knows.
Exactly. And no human is a God. No.
One of my friend,
Sir, it can-
2 years back, we are operated by Manipal people. You may be London.
What is the name?
Srinivas Murthy, GR.
No, not me.
Rectal.
No, not me. No,
13 and a half hours surgery.
No. Rectal cancer cannot cause back pain, sir. In the sense, it can present as back pain. And cancer is cancer. It is a total. Cancer specialists are different, sir. Not me. I would not have touched any cancer.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One last question, sir.
Okay,
So it's
very good.
regard.
Last question. Definitely.
So I heard about these autoimmune diseases. They say that they don't know the cause and how they occur, and they say that there is no cure for that. And many read on internet.
You are right in what you have heard.
Sclerosis.
Sorry.
You are right in what you have heard.
So then, what is the hope for those
A lot
patients?
of research is going on. honestly speaking, there is still a hope but no cure at the moment. Many of the diseases like multiple sclerosis, if you are talking,
like rheumatoid arthritis and some spondylitis, the kind of autoimmune diseases they
there are
said.
lots of researches now, like infliximab has come. There are a lot of biologics which have come, but we don't know what is the long-term pros and cons. But if indicated properly, if it is within 3 months of identifying the disease, if you give biologics, there is enough literature to say that it halts the disease, halts its progression. But it cannot reverse, it cannot change. If at all you have already had an advanced rheumatoid, you can't undo.
At least the present treatment itself, I am
Initial phases, they are in the inflammatory phase.
Yeah.
Like body is reacting to its own components as autoimmune.
Yeah.
If at that phase you give biologics, it is proven that it can halt the progression. But how long we don't know. How long you can give biologics, how far it is safe to use biologics, we don't know. Means studies are there for 10 years, 15 years, but not longer. Like all these arthritis patients are all in their 20 to 40s or early 40s. So now how do you know whether arthritis is more dangerous or biologicals are more dangerous? You understand what I am saying? You don't know what is the adverse effect of this drug after 40 years. So although they have been approved by US FDA for human use, you really don't know, because arthritis is also equally bad, drugs can also be bad. We don't know. Answer is we don't know. Like I said, 90% we don't know.
No, we'll invite doctor again. He's got some other work. Okay. We'll stop it here. Thank you.